Keewa Nurullah, and this is The Juggle. The Juggle is a new podcast. This is my first foray into the podcast universe, but I listened to a lot of them. And something I noticed was a gap in the conversation, a gap for parents to fill. What I'm looking to investigate are the solutions that parents are coming up with to find balance in their life, to level their sanity. And I'm particularly interested in parents who have a dream, who have a goal, who still want to achieve these big things out of their careers, out of their lives, and how do you manage to do that with children and a spouse or these other things that get in the way. This conversation started on Instagram Live during the pandemic. It was 2020 and we were all sheltered in place, and I was really trying to find a way to engage our kiddo community. And I know that even though we're a kids shop, the parents are buying the items, the parents are bringing their kids to the shop for community. And so I started a series called Parent to Parent just to keep the conversations going that we would typically have in the shop, even though we weren't open. And they filled me up so much. Talking to people who are going through the same thing that you are is just so comforting. And I have been missing that since the pandemic. And so the Juggle is really just a way to continue that conversation. I always feel like if there's some information that I'm looking for, that I'm needing, then I can't be the only one. There has to be other parents who are searching for the same information. And so I hope that by speaking to a variety of parents and a variety of parenting situations, that we can just get these little nuggets of information, these suggestions, these habits that we can start to put in our little toolbox to use to get through life in a better way. A little bit about me. I'm the owner of Kido, and I started Kido when my son was a baby. He had acid reflux, and he was throwing up all the time, and no one told me that was a thing. No one told me, well, if your baby gets acid reflux, you do this, and that. I remember it being so just draining, everything I was feeding him was just coming back out. And for anyone who's a parent and anyone who has had a little baby, it's the most frustrating feeling you could have. It's what am I doing wrong? I'm feeding him, but he doesn't want it, and all this stuff. And particularly, he was going through clothing so quickly. We were doing laundry every day because he was throwing up on everything. And so his clothing items would get soiled more quickly. And so I was shopping online for him for new clothing, more than I probably would have at the time with all the gifts that you get, from baby showers and stuff. And I was just is this for real? I was shopping for little baby boy clothes, and I was just so shocked at the lack of color and vibrancy. And I knew I just wanted something more. I think you assume when you have a child, I'm going to dress him like this, and he's going to be so cute, just like me and his daddy, or whatever. And it just didn't work out like that. I'm I actually can't dress my boy the way I want him to. How can we fix this, And so I had a few ideas. I was, just laid up with him, holding baby all the time, him falling asleep on me, and I would just do my Google research and had these ideas for a few graphic tees and onesies. Next thing you know, I did all my research to get them screen printed and finding the blanks and all that stuff, and I got a logo. I formed my LLC, and I launched Kido in the fall of 2016 with one onesie. And I guess I just didn't know any better because I had lofty dreams and aspirations for this one onesie, not realizing that people might want more than that. Your one onesie might not be enough. But I didn't know anything about, retail or producing an item at the time. And so I just kind of went with my gut. I thought, this is cute. I think other people in our network might like this little onesie. And they did. And so I continued. I sold these onesies. I sold tees. I made more designs. And I started selling the items at local markets and festivals and events. And that was really the clicker for me. I was finally meeting other families and meeting other parents who were going through some of the same struggles that I was. And it really connected me, not necessarily as a business owner, to my potential customers, but as a parent on the south side of Chicago, it connected me to my future friends. And so I started building this community of parents and building this community of families on the south side with Kido. And those conversations with the parents not only told me what I needed to know as a business owner, like what are people really looking for in my products, but also just like, how can we continue to have fun and make new friends and get through the struggles of parenting in Chicago? Well, exactly what we did, by meeting other parents on the south side of Chicago. And so I'm kind of hoping to achieve that same effect through the Juggle, just spreading our community out even further so we just get more and more insight into what parents are going through right now in this country with all the challenges that we're facing. So I really want this podcast experience to be interactive. If you're listening out there and you have a particular experience or something you're going through that you would like advice on, or you would love the perspective of a fellow mom or dad on the grind, send it in, send us a note. We would love to respond to that, or maybe tailor an episode around that particular challenge. Because like I said, if you're having that challenge, I'm sure there are many other people who are going through the same thing. If you are a creative, listen to this podcast. If you are a parent, obviously, listen to this podcast. If you are someone who has a dream, has a goal, has something that they're trying to achieve, and you have these kind of roadblocks that are getting in the way, and you're trying to figure out how to balance it all, listen to this podcast. We're all learning together and growing together. And I'm no expert. I'm not coming here as the studies of blah, blah, blah. The data says that do. That's not me. I am a comedian. I am a creative. I never claim to know it all. And so this is a safe space. We are all learning from each other, and I just hope to kind of provide a forum for that on this vast internet universe that hopefully some people out there connect with our particular take on what's going on in parenting today. So I hope you tune in next time. As a parent, I know you don't have a lot of time, so we're going to make these episodes short. Think under 30 minutes. You can digest it easily, and we'll be here for you. I'm Keewa Nurullah, and this is The Juggle. I'll see you next time.